Hello and welcome to the Owl's Nest, and welcome to the first video for 2020 and the new decade. And I decided to do something a little different but a little more fun. I wanted to go through the new skins for the Shock, the Valiant, and the Mayhem and compare them to where I see the other skins in the league. I know a lot of Overwatch League content creators have done this before, but I just kind of wanted to share my opinions because I'm new to the scene. And just something a little more fun to do compared to, say, like more news, and I just thought it would be kind of an interesting thing to do. So let's go ahead and start with the Atlanta Rain. And the Rain skins are really nice. I like the combo of red and silver. Compared to the other ones, I don't think they're super standout, and of the other red teams, I think they're probably my least favorite skin, so I think I'm gonna go B for them. Yeah, that seems good for now. That could get bumped up. Next up is going to be Boston, and Boston's okay. It's just kind of blue and yellow. Both colors are very potent, but I think, I don't know, it's just not super exciting to me. I'll go C. I think that's a good spot for it. And then for Chengdu, I'm also going to go C. I like the orange that they use, but I wish there was another color that went with it a little better. All right, next up is going to be the Dallas Fuel. I'm going to put the Fuel in A. The colors are pretty simple, but I like the way the two shades of the blue accent each other, and overall I think it's one of the more classic colors of the league. I think the Fuel skins are super popular both online and in game, and I just think a lot of people really enjoy the Fuel skins. So yeah, I think it's a very iconic look for the Overwatch League, and I can see why. I think the colors are really appealing, so I'm gonna go A for them. Next up is going to be the new Florida Mayhem skins, and these are pretty awesome. I'm gonna go A. I think that's a good spot for it. I think that the other pink skin is maybe a little bit better, but in terms of the total Miami Vice look, this completely serves it, and I think it looks great. Next up is gonna be the Guangzhou Charged, and I'm gonna put them in the B tier. I'm going to put them in the B tier because I think that the teal that they use almost is really unique and not really seen in any of the other skins. And though we have a lot of blue teams, I think this one is kind of a perfect blend between an aqua color and an offshoot of the Dallas Fuel skin, I'd say. Next up is going to be the Hangzhou Spark, and I'm going to put them in the S tier. These skins sold like crazy when they came out. They were such a big deal, the cotton candy skins, and I think they look good, and I can see why. It was unique at the time to have a pink skin and that light blue together, and I think overall it's an iconic look and one of the most iconic skins for the Overwatch League. Next up is going to be Houston, and I'm going to put Houston in the S tier as well. I think the black and green is kind of a staple of esports if you look at, especially in FPS esports, Optic, and that continuing into the Houston Outlaws brand I think looks overall really good. Next up is going to be the Gladiators. I'm going to put the Gladiators in A. And I think this is kind of in the same category as the Dallas Fuel skin. It's just iconic. It's a unique color. There aren't any other purple teams really in the league, and just the way the purple, the gray, and the black all accent each other, it's iconic and it looks great. It's very simple but clean. Next up is going to be the new Valiant skins. This one's a little hard for me. I think I liked their old skins more now that I'm seeing what the new ones look like. I think I'm going to put it right next to Boston. I don't think there's too much different between them if I'm 100% honest. I knew they were going with the UCLA theme based off the leaks we saw, but I think just overall I'm going to put it by Boston. I don't think they're super special. Next up is going to be the Spitfire, and I love these Spitfire skins. That's going S tier as well. Another blue team. There's a lot of blue teams in the league now that I'm looking at it, but the shade of blue alongside with the orange is also, I would say, a pretty iconic skin in the league. And I think the color combo is unique. And if you look at other pro sports teams, there aren't many like the Spitfire color-wise. And I think that's just overall a really good look. Next up is going to be the NYXL. And let's throw them in the A tier. Yeah, that feels good. Yeah, we'll go A tier for them. I think the red and blue is just a nice combo. And the dark blue overall is really nice, and another iconic skin. Part of it's because of the success of the team, but also they just overall look really sleek. And I think A tier is a good spot for them. Paris. I'm going to go Paris and B tier. I think the red and gold is overall really regal look, which is definitely what they're going for. And that shade of blue as well is also really interesting. I just don't think they're as interesting as the skins above them. And alright, next up is the Fusion. I'm going to put the Fusion in B as well. I think, especially because they're one of the original 12 teams, they have an iconic look to them. However, I don't find their colors particularly interesting. And I don't think they're as iconic as the teams above them, as I mentioned. So yeah, I think B is a good spot for them. Next up is going to be the Shock's new uniforms. And I don't know if this is controversial, but I'm going to put them in the D tier. And here's why. Do you guys remember the Overwatch League skins you'd get from donating bits? I genuinely cannot tell the difference between those and the new Shock skins. I think these are just not really creative, and I didn't think their original skins were either, but at least they had some iconicness to it, just based off the success of the Shock last year. I don't see why they made this change, and I was expecting a little more. I don't know. Just, it looks like the default Overwatch League skins from the tutorial menus, and I don't think they're that interesting. So I'm going to put them in D tier. Alright, next up is going to be the Seoul Dynasty. Yeah, I'm going to put these guys in S tier as well. Once again, the black and gold is very common amongst Overwatch competitive matches. You see it all the time, and for a good reason. It's a very regal look. The Dynasty were going into Overwatch League Season 1 as the favorites, and they wanted skins to prove it, and I think these are great. They look very noble, very royalty-like, and I can see why. And overall, I think they just look really good. Next up is going to be the Shanghai Dragons. I'm going to go A tier for them. I like the overall China look. It's very Chinese, just with the red and yellow. And I just think the sharpness of both the colors go really well together, and I think A tier is a good spot for that. Next up is going to be the Toronto Defiant. I'm going to go A tier for them. So I'm going to put the Toronto Defiant in A tier because black, this was the first team to do a predominantly black skin, and the sharpness of the red as well, I think just accents it really well. And for a team, if you were thinking about it, black skins don't really sound as appealing in such a flashy, colorful game as Overwatch, but for some reason Toronto's skins still seem to pop out. So I'm going to put A tier for them. Next up is going to be Vancouver. I'm going to put them in high B tier. And the reason why is I think that their colors are fine. I don't know why, they always just remind me as if it was a Sigma coloring page, and it was just oh, we're gonna color some blue and color some green. They look like Crayola crayons, and they're very basic but nice colors. So I think B is a good spot for them. And finally, we have the Washington Justice. I'm gonna put them in B as well. I think that the Justice skins are fine, and it's a very American red, white, and blue. But I don't think they're particularly special. I don't think they're bad looking necessarily, so I think B is a good spot for them. So overall, that's my Overwatch League 2020 tier list. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm sure you guys have completely different opinions, which is totally fine. As a matter of fact, I'm going to put this link in the description so you guys can make your own. And I'm going to start pushing my Twitter for this year. So go ahead and follow at @the_owlsnest on Twitter, and I'll put it on screen. And feel free to share me your tier results or just comment them, whatever you guys need to do. I'm really grateful for all the support we received in 2019, and I'm happy to keep that going as the season gets closer. We're going to have more team previews on the way. I think the Gladiators are going to be next, and then we'll work from there. So thank you guys all so much for watching, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful day.